welcome to episode 4. Yes, we are on episode 4 of Ultimate Opinion with your boy Daniel, aka D Money. On this podcast, I intend to be subjective and transparent when giving my opinion on these topics. Before we dive into today's episode, of course, you guys know I love giving my shout outs. That's what I like to do. I love giving props. I love giving flowers to certain groups or certain people who done made some accomplishments or whatever, or that sort. I just love giving my shout outs. And today I want to give a shout out to the Florida Gators for winning their third NCAA men's championship. That was last Monday. They beat Houston. That was a hell of a game. It was my bracket. I didn't do a bracket this year, but at my job, we did a group bracket, and we actually had Florida and Duke. So, Duke, I want to thank you guys for not going to the championship. This is sarcasm because we couldn't get a free lunch because of you guys. So, thank you. But all jokes aside, like I said, I wanted to congratulate the Florida Gators and what they did. Also, I got some trivia for you guys. Ty Golden became the youngest coach to win the men's championship at age 39. Since North Carolina's state coach, Jimmy V, who was 37, when the Wolfpack won it back in 1983. So big ups to Ty Golden and what he was able to do with those young men. Had them prepared, had them mentally prepared, physically prepared. Florida deserved it this year. Also, I would like to point out one specific player. Congrats to Walter Clayton Jr., who was named the most outstanding player after leading the Gators to the national title with a 65-63 win victory over Houston. Clayton Jr. averaged 22.3 points, 3.3 assists, and 3.3 rebounds across 6 tournament games. He scored 10 of his 11 points in the second half of the championship game, led the Gators to their first title since 2007. So once again, I would like to give a big ups to the Florida Gators and winning their third NCAA championship, which is an accomplishment. And I also want to put a little plug in President Trump's ear this year. Dude, don't be cheap and cheesy with these guys. What I feel like the White House should do is, every year, whichever team win their respective championship, have some decent food from in that budget. Back in, I want to say 2017 or 2018, the Clemson football team, won the championship. They had McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. Come on now, these are young men. They've made tremendous accomplishments. They won the championship. So the least you could do is have them decent food. And that's what I'm saying. President Trump this year, could you at least make sure to have at least decent food for the Florida Gators? That's all I'm saying. So like I said again, big ups to Florida. Uh they deserve to be the champions. Of course, they won the SEC. This year was their year, and a big ups to them and congratulations. Now, today's topic, I'm not going to say it's going to be controversial, but it's going to give people what I like to do on my podcast to give people chance to think and to do some uh self-aware observation, to observe, okay, what am I doing or saying that can either change somebody's life or that could be damaging to somebody's life. So today's topic will be, can Jonathan Majors have a bounce back story? Now, before I dive into who Jonathan Majors is and what he was accused of, I will be giving examples of some high profile people who had that fall from grace, but they was able to come back. We welcomed them back with open arms. We was able to look back and say, okay, you made a mistake, you redeemed yourself, so you can come back into our community and do your work, do your craft, do your art. And that's what I want to try to shed some light on today about how us as humans, how we tend to judge people and their mistakes. I'm not going to say mistake, their mistakes. And that's what they're known for. So today will be a lot of self observation and seeing if there's something I need to change the way I perceive certain people that's not even celebrities. Your next door neighbor, your coworker, your instructor, your coach, just a perspective on how we look at people and when they make F ups, do we judge them? Do we look at them a certain type of way? Or do we give them a chance to have redemption and come back in our communities and be like, okay, yes, you made this F up, but we forgive you and you can now, I'm not going to say be one of us because we're all humans. Like I said, we all make mistakes, but I just want to, like I said, shed a light on the way we should look at people now. So I need to take a drink real quick. I am a very religious person. Uh, I do attend church. I believe in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I do believe that when people stumble, we should not judge. We should be there to help them get up. So, and this is a scripture that I think about all the time. Luke 6:37. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. So, the first high profile person I want to highlight who fell from grace and had a redemption story is Robert Downey Jr. Downey spent stints in rehab and jail between 1999 and 2001 for drug related crimes. Lowlights include prison time for possession of cocaine, heroin, and an unloaded handgun while speeding on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, California. Of course, Mr. Iron Man came to Oprah with his Come to Jesus interview in 2004, describing getting clean and sober. He bounced back and is known for starring in high grossing movies like The Avengers and Iron Man. Another highlight profile person I want to speak about is Michael Vick. Vick started as QB for the Atlanta Falcons in 2001 and spent 6 seasons with the team. That is until he was convicted of running an illegal dogfighting ring, of which details are gruesome. He served 548 days in jail and was $18 million in debt. Vick made a comeback and joined the Philadelphia Eagles from 2009 to 2013, the New York Jets in 2014. He officially retired in 2017. After retiring as a player, Vick pursued a coaching career. He served as OC and advisor of the Atlanta Legends of Alliance of America Football, AAF, in 2019. In December of 2024, Vic was named the 19th head coach at Norfolk State University. Britney Spears, the Grammy winning teen pop princess, was the pinnacle of success in the late 90s and early 2000s. Then came the breakdown. In 2007, Spears shocked the world when she became addicted to drugs, shaved her head, was placed in psychiatric hold twice, lost custody of her two kids and more. It's no secret that her fans have been begging for a career comeback ever since she released Hold Me Closer with Elton John. The track was released on August 22nd, 2022, and marks the first song that she released following the end of her court ordered conservatorship in November of 2021. The last single she released was Mind Your Business, a collab with Will I Am in July 2023. President Bill Clinton. President Clinton sure knows how to have a bounce back from a scandal. He dominated the 1998 news because of his affair with 22-year-old Monica Lewinsky and the scandal defense media storm that came with it. Clinton was impeached by the House of Representatives, the first president that's happened to since Andrew Jackson, but was acquitted by the Senate. Now, President Clinton is an esteemed leader of the Democratic Party, speaking at the Democratic conventions since leaving office in 2001, also being founder of the Clinton Foundation. He also supported and endorsed his wife, former First Lady and former U.S. Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton's campaign for president in 2008 and 2006. So I gave four examples of a Hollywood actor, a former NFL quarterback, a pop singer, and a former president. I know that probably sounds like a bad uh, a bad joke. Like, what do you call whoop whoop whoop? But I'm going somewhere with this. I just gave four examples of four different personalities, four different uh you could say scandals, you could say addictions, but these are four different people who they happen to be celebrities. They happen to be well-known celebrities, but I was just giving an example of no matter who you are, what your profession is, and what you do, mistakes still happen. And that's my whole point about redemption and not judging people harshly because I'm not a celebrity. Normal people who have flaws, who do F ups. The only reason why it's not highlighted is because we're not celebrities. So, of course, when we do certain things or say certain things, it's not going to be dissected because we're not celebrities. We're a celebrity. Whatever they do is it's a magnified light. They call it out like that. Tabloids pick it up like that. So that was just four examples of four different celebrities with four different professions that happen to fall from grace, but they was able to redeem themselves. And us being people, they was able to be forgiven for their sins or their F ups. So now what I will be doing is for some of you all who may not know who Jonathan Majors is, like I said, I will be detailing who he is. his character, the movies he done played in, and who he actually is. So Jonathan Majors is an actor known for his roles in Lovecraft Country, Creed 3, and his portrayal of Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Though his career trajectory was significantly impacted by domestic violence conviction and subsequent dismissal from the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The emerging star was convicted in December 2023 on 2 counts of misdemeanor assault against then girlfriend Grace Jabari. He was ordered to undertake a year long counseling program but avoided jail. In March of this year, in People magazine, Majors revealed he experienced sexual abuse from both men and women from the time he was 9. His dad left the family when he was 8. He added, from people who are supposed to look after you in the absence of a father, he was effed up. So, once again, we never know anybody's background or anyone's struggle. So, once again, I'm going back to that judgment word. You have no right to judge. That's it. You do not have that right. Most recently, Jonathan Majors has been doing interviews to promote his new film, Magazine Dreams, where he portrays aspiring bodybuilder Killian Maddox. Unfortunately, all this may be overshadowed by the audio recording of Majors admitting to battering his ex girlfriend. Excuse me. Rolling Stones obtained and published the recording of Majors saying, I aggressed you. So, once again, Jonathan Majors made a mistake. And I'm gonna just say I think that recording wasn't even, I don't think it was a setup. I think it was him actually coming to grips that the fact that okay, he made a mistake and he just owning up to it. He's admitting it, which a lot of people struggle to do. Some people can admit their wrongs and their faults, and some people can't. And I think the fact that he can admit that, okay, I effed up. I might have did some things to you. I might have been physical with you. That's anybody that can admit their faults. They they see what they did, and they're admitting what I did was wrong. I can fix it. I'm not that type of person, and I really think that's what Jonathan Majors is doing. Oh, in February of this year, in an interview, Michael B. Jordan expressed his pride and support for Jonathan Majors, calling him my boy, and stating he will work with him again, highlighting Majors' resilience and strength following his legal challenges. So, anyone that has been following Michael B. Jordan's career know that he is actually one of the promising rising stars in Hollywood. For right now, you can call him a good guy. Haven't really no scandals came out about his personal life or what he's doing, and like what Michael B. Jordan say, I would take a whole lot of stock into. He seems like a stand-up guy. He seemed like a guy with high morals, and I feel like if Michael B. can say this about Jonathan Majors, why can't these other producers or screenwriters see, okay, this guy made a mistake? I'm on the record as saying this. Domestic violence is wrong. Any type of violence is wrong. Domestic violence, sexual violence, All that is wrong. But you also have to think about certain people can bring out the good and the bad in you. Uh, Everyone, I hope that I'm talking to right now, if you've been in relationships, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have people that can bring the good out in you or the bad. And how, because I mean, we don't know. We don't know what the situation was. We know what he was accused of, what he done admitted to. Okay. But how do we not know that his ex girlfriend just maybe she might have brought out the bad in him? Do we know that? We've all, like I said, been in relationships and we all have had that ex or that significant other, like I said, that either brought out the good or the bad in us. And like I said, any type of violence is wrong. I don't condone it. And I do feel like, okay, you should you shouldn't cancel nobody, but I do believe in consequences. And I feel like that this man done I feel like his public persona, the fact that you basically had to go vouch for this guy. Like I feel like the consequences he done paid a whole lot because now his image is tarnished because now people don't see Jonathan Majors the actor. They see Jonathan Majors the aggressor, Jonathan Majors the abuser. And that's it is something that he's going to live with, unfortunately. But I don't think his career should have to take a detour just because of a mistake he made. Like I said, we all make mistakes. We're not perfect. And the Bible I read, there is no sin bigger than the other. And that's what us being humans, we love to rate sin. You know what I mean? Like we love to be like, okay, a raper, a murderer, like we love to rate. No, 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 no. In God's eyes, a thief is no different from a murderer. A gossiper is no different from a raper. Like you cannot rate sin. In his eyes, it's all sin and it pulls you apart from him. And I gave four examples of four celebrities that they all did different things, but it was still sin. They still had that fall from grace. They still had to earn the trust of people around them, family. And that's what I'm saying, guys. We have got to get to a point where we do not have the right to judge anyone. We don't. We all struggle with certain things. We got certain people in our lives that's not good for us. We know this. We know that there are certain activities that we should not be engaging in, but we still do it. We have got to get to a point where I am not going to judge you and you don't judge me. We're all in this together. We're all not perfect. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to stumble. But what we do should not define who we are. And that's why I'm saying, like, Jonathan Majors is a hell of an actor. This guy's my age. He should not be having to worry about, okay, like I said, consequences. Okay. But the fact that for 2 years, this guy couldn't, nobody didn't want to touch him. Nobody want to be associated with him. And those same people, those same producers and all that, what are you doing behind closed doors? Tell me that. What is it that you doing so good that you can't look at somebody who's not perfect? That's what I want to know. I go back to okay, just like Chris Brown. For a little bit, he had to lay low. Uh, uh People didn't want to sing with him. People didn't want to record. None of that. The same thing with Will Smith. Will Smith actually said on the interview not too long ago that Will Smith done he done released a track or like an album or something like that, and he done actually said that he haven't said no names yet, but some of the artists is like, oh well, yeah, I don't want to work with you. Okay, is it because Will Smith? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think Will Smith is a good rapper. I like him as an actor, of course, but I don't really think he's a good rapper. But if is that the reason why people don't want to collab with him, or is it because of what he did at the Oscars a few years ago? If it's what he did at the Oscars a few years ago, damn you. Like I said, what he did was wrong. What the Oscars should have done was, like I said, suspending him that 1 year, made him come back, say a public apology to everyone, find the hell out of him or whatever. But you're gonna suspend this guy for 10 years? No. And I go back to okay, the same people that these producers or these actors that's behind us. What is your faults? What is your flaws? What is that you have done that nobody knows about? That's where I want us as a people to get to a point to where we're like, okay, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I stumble. But I should be able to be redeemed. I should be able to come back with open arms. Like, okay, you made a mistake and you stumbled, but still you are still human. It's gonna happen again. We have to get through this. We are going to forgive you. You look, you will suffer the consequences. You will suffer consequences, but you won't be canceled. You won't be banned. You won't be looked a certain type of way. When can we get to that point, people? It's it's just something I want you guys to think about. Do you go do you go through your day and do you look at people and do you judge the content of their character or do you judge that person itself? What do you do? Because, like I was saying, we're not perfect. We are going to make mistakes as human beings. But there is no mistake greater than a person that's that's trying to do right. Okay, Jonathan Majors, yes, he went to counseling. That wasn't good enough. Last I want to say back in March, him and the beautiful, talented Megan Good, congratulations, was actually married. And I actually said, like I said, he looks happy. He looks content because once again, like I was saying, and I'm not saying I don't want my words taken out of context, but we don't know how his previous relationship was with his ex girlfriend. Because, like I was saying, speaking from personal experience myself, you have some people that you are with that brings out either the best or the worst in you. And I'm not saying that she brought the worst, but I'm just saying we don't know. We don't know what kind of relationship that was. And that's why I'm just saying, people, we need to stop judging one of other when it comes to our faults. It's not right and it's wrong. And there are so many celebrities with comeback stories that is triumph. It's amazing. Because like the four celebrities I gave, Robert Downey Jr., Michael Vick, Britney Spears, President Bill Clinton, the fact that they was able to bounce back from just the public scrutiny is something like you know that when you're in the public eye, that what I do is going to be, like I said, magnified. It's going to be looked at. And the fact that they was able to bounce back from that, and all four persons are doing well right now. And that's what I want for Jonathan Majors. I want this little incident that he went through a couple years ago to be a distant memory. Like I said, unfortunately, it's something that he is on to deal with. Of course, you're gonna still have that small portion, excuse me, that are gonna judge him and look at him a certain type of way, which is fine. If you want to live life like that, fine. But I want him to be able to bounce back from this. And like I was saying, the fact that a stand-up guy like Michael B. Jordan is vouching for him says a lot. And like I was saying, people, we just need to stop feeling like no one can have a redemption story, because we all have f ups. Like I was saying, the only difference is regular people like us, they're not gonna be magnified or talked about because we're regular people. So I just want you guys to just think about that. Just think about the next time you hear or see someone that you don't know or that you might know, and before you judge, just try to be like, okay, yeah, this person does that, they say this, they do that, but what are my flaws? What is it that I struggle with? What is it that I do that could be judged, but nobody knows about? Think there's only one perfect being. Nobody can walk on water. Nobody can do that. So, like I said, the next time you judge, just remember that I got my faults too. I'm not perfect. And let me shut up and not try to call out nobody else's shit. And let me fix mine's first. Let me do that. Let me fix mine's first. it's a scripture that I really want to end on today. It's Romans 3:23. All have sinned and fell short of the glory of God. Again, that's Romans 3:23. And us being humans, that happens. Like I said, we're gonna have hiccups. We're gonna say things and do things that we know are out of the will of God, but it still happens. But I don't think there's I think anyone and like I said, I don't know Jonathan Majors personally. Of course I don't. And mentally I don't know where his head is, but after watching his interviews, he seems sincere. He 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 realized what he did was wrong. And like I said, there's gonna still be that small portion of people that's gonna judge him differently. But Jonathan Majors, I tell you, man, just keep your head up. Just keep on doing what you've been doing. Get those scripts, get those movie roles, and kill them. That's how you do it. That's how you show people. You that perception that they have of you, you make them think something else. Like I said, you have a beautiful, talented wife in the Miss Megan Good. She stands by you, she supports you, and I'm just saying, dude, just keep your head up. You just keep doing what you've been doing. You tell your story because everyone has a story. That's where history come from. His story, dude. You just keep on doing your thing, man, and the haters are gonna hate. But like I was saying, you just show them by you, okay, be like, yeah, I fell from grace. I made a mistake, but watch what I do now. Because like I said, I gave four examples of four different celebrities in different professions with different issues or problems that they had to overcome. And just keep on doing you, man. Because we all do it. Like I said, we all got issues that we have to work out that we have to deal with. So I really hope that today's episode was really informative. Um, and it just makes you think about other people, issues that they're going through, issues that they're dealing with, and then your own issues and how we have to navigate it day in and day out. I just want you guys just thinking that whatever issue or problem that you're struggling with, like I said, there are certain hotline numbers that you can get in contact with. Like I said, there are certain groups that you can get involved with, but just know that you that don't have to define you, or you could be so much more. You are so much more. Don't let your struggle hold you back from anything. Insecurities, low self esteem, none of that. God made you who you are. He knows that you're going to stumble and make mistakes. All you have to do is repent and ask for forgiveness. But don't let something define who you are. Don't do that. You are so much more. You can be so much more. Love yourself and know your worth, and know that by the grace of God, that the mistakes I make, He throws it in the sea of forgiveness. I can bounce back from this. I can have my own bounce back story. That's what it is. Having your own bounce back story and no one telling that story but yourself. I'm going to thank you guys for tuning in to my show today. Once again, when giving these opinions, they are my opinion and my opinion alone. But I would love to hear from you guys. And more importantly, I would love to hear your opinion. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment on my channel. Once again, I'm your boy, Daniel, aka D Money. And until next time, be blessed. I'm out.